Hey everyone, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. We live, Larry? Okay, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is Loshak in the Bag show for the afternoon of Tuesday, March 13th. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. We're going to try to find you some more betting value on today's card. Jimmy the Bag. NIT games are going on in college basketball tonight. NIT is very tricky, made all the more tricky this year by the rule changes, Jim.
It has become more tricky, and I only have one play.
Mm-hmm. In the NIT, yeah, because you have to figure out, you have to analyze. Hold on a second. You have to analyze motivation. Of course, some teams, are fully motivated. Some teams, like maybe Louisville, are not motivated. Of course, home court advantage is a factor or non-factor, as the case might be. And this year, of course, we do have the rule changes. Once again, the three-point line has been moved back about 20 inches. They're expanding the key to, I guess, promote driving, and also the shot clock is now going to be reset to only 20 seconds instead of 30 seconds on offensive rebounds. And, of course, they're also playing 4 quarters instead of 2 halves. Right, Jim?
Yeah, big changes.
Yeah.
Big changes. But the motivation that you mentioned is an enormous thing that takes a ton of research to find out who actually cares about being in this tournament.
Yes, it certainly is, and that's a little bit hard to suss out because you obviously can get hints by what's being reported in the media, but you never really know 100% for sure about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you have a feeling of the teams that were let down, enormously let down, are likely to not be happy to be playing.
Mm-hmm. Scotty Rock Forever says, "Ha ha ha! Loshak looks like he works at Taco Bell drive-through window right now." Yeah, I think I might have lost my Yankees hat, Jim.
What?
I think I left it in the cab. Yeah, I left it in the cab, so I'm gonna have to get a new one. Is that bad luck? No, that's not bad luck, is it?
I don't believe in good luck or bad luck.
No, that's all right. But I do believe in looking crazy and fucked up for the shows, and I will definitely find another hat that's even cooler than the one that I lost in the cab. And I do look like I work at the Taco Bell drive-through right now.
But I'll keep an eye out for a fucking cabbie in that hat.
Oh no! It's totally my fault. Totally my fault.
No. I'll put a couple rocks and some socks, man. Get that fucking sock swinging.
All right. Okay. So let's see. So what's your first? Is it from Maxwell Smart? The first comment?
Yes. My last comment is Pete needs a pint of blood from Twatty Latte. But my first comment is Max talking about DeAndre Hunter out for Virginia. Big tourney loss. ACC 6-man of the year. Wow.
I guess that is a huge loss for them.
That is a huge turn of events.
I guess that means don't pick, because I still haven't picked my brackets yet, Jim.
Either have I.
So does that mean that you're now downgrading them significantly in your brackets?
I don't know if they can beat Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I just have more work to do.
Mm-hmm.
I have more work to do. I like Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
I like them all. Who doesn't? They're the number 1 team in the nation. But I just have a ton more work to do. I can't wait to do it this evening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Here you go. Long Balls Larry says $50,000 GoFundMe was met in a few hours to send maximum fans to Dayton for St. Bonaventure.
Yeah, St. Bonnie in the upset, St. Bonnie, all this bullshit. Everybody, I want St. Bonnie to win, except their bigs are trash. They have one big. They have one guy who qualifies as a big. I just don't understand how they can win. I truly, from a basketball, yes, I want them to win. Yes, I love Mobley and Adams. They're great young guards, seniors. They're everything you want in a guy bringing the ball up the court in an enormous game. But they have no chance against these bigs. I just don't see it. For the life of me, I can't understand how they're going to win any battles in the paint.
Well, J.D. Williams certainly agrees with you. He's saying, keep that UCL line moving, suckers. I've laid another 200 for every half point that favors UCLA more.
Oh, that's great. Who said that?
J.D. Williams.
Oh, J.D., my man J.D. Okay, dope. J.D., good vibes when I run with J.D. I love hearing that.
Carlos Garcia says St. Bonnie in the upset. Salty Dog 93 says St. Bonnie taking buses full of students to Dayton for the game.
That's not enough. You don't win games with hope.
Well, I mean, that's what home court advantage. No, home court advantage is because of the refs, right?
Well, if you there's a couple books that have been written on that. Yes, that is the way it works. But this is UCLA just too big of an advantage down low, and it doesn't matter. And it's not like they have bad guard play. I mean, Aaron Holiday's a beast. They're going to have an in and out game with Holiday and Welsh that won't be able to. Actually, St. Bonnie's has some okay defending with their bigs. Okay defending, but no scoring. No offense whatsoever.
King Rail says Buffalo will beat Arizona, so don't trip, Jimmy. Okay.
That's so exciting, King Rail. You know I'm going to be taking Buffalo to cover. You know I will be doing that, but that's going to take still a little bit more work.
Gabriel Rodriguez, the King, says, Loshak, you look great. The bag looks focused. Thank you very much, Gabriel Rodriguez. Gabriel Rodriguez apparently likes the Taco Bell drive-through look, and I appreciate that. I look pretty cool every day. Right now I'm doing the Taco Bell drive-through window chic look. Right? You know what I'm saying? But last week, my look was homeless guy on a job interview chic. And now, and Scotty Rock Forever says, no, Loshak, find that hat. No, it's gone. It's in a taxi cab, but I'll get more hats. All right, let's see.
Yeah, Twatty Latte says irrelevant to the fucking busload of fucking knobs coming out to Dayton. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Who cares?
Yes.
This isn't Angels in the outfield. Who cares?
Yes, very nice. Yeah, why is Gabriel Rodriguez continually posting no good vibes with the King, no good vibes with the King? I don't know what that means. What does that mean, Gabriel Rodriguez?
I think he's saying no.
Oh, good vibes. Oh, okay. You got to put a
hope,
comment in there. Yeah,
you
got to use comments effectively when they're required. Gabriel
Long
Rodriguez.
Balls Larry says, "Are you guys juicing? Your skin looks great."
Thank you very much, Long Balls Larry. Yeah, I'm what's that word? Tapering up on my trenbolone, and hopefully we'll get some results pretty soon.
I'm the opposite. I'm dehydrated all the time, and I drink heavily after every show.
All right. Scotty Rock Forever says, "Let me get a burrito supreme, Loshak." You got it, Scotty Rock Forever. Jay Sandercock says Zona will not lose to Buffalo. LOL. Okay. All right, okay. And the spokesman says more fans for Bonnie's just means more letdown.
I like the spokesman, man. Fuck yeah, man. That's right to the point. Fucking dagger from the spokesman.
All right, so let's jump right to, well, we're already in college basketball. All right, the games that I bet tonight, there's one bet that I did make, and I'll tell you, I think it's an okay bet, right?
Let's hear
now it does involve the Louisville game. Now the big news for the Louisville game is that apparently, and this is just what was reported in the news, Louisville accepted the NIT invitation, and the players voted to reject it.
Yes,
did you read about that?
I did.
But I guess the players got overruled. Now, it is a home game for Louisville, so they might be like, all right, fine. Well, we don't want to be in the tournament, but we're here. We got a game. We're at home. We may as well give it our all. My sense is though that whether Louisville plays on at 100% or not, it's more if they don't play 100%, Northern Kentucky probably puts up some points. If they do play 100%, I'm guessing they probably put on some kind of an offensive show for their fans. I'm thinking maybe we look for an over here, and I think the best bet might just be Northern Kentucky team total over at 70. I did bet that one, Jim. What do you think about that?
That's interesting. I think Northern Kentucky is not as good as their record stands. They were disappointing down the stretch. But I'm just, I guess the question is whether Louisville cares.
Yeah.
And when you don't care, it shows up on the defensive end.
Right.
Everybody likes shooting the ball. Everyone likes dunking the ball. Everyone likes having the ball in their hands.
Or maybe even when you do care for a tournament that you don't really want to be in, you care offensively but not defensively. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they get a blowout, but it's a super high scoring game, and Northern Kentucky, gets their points anyway.
Well, the interesting stuff from Twatty and Jace come. First off, Twatty says once the ball's thrown up, it's on. Possibly. Yeah. Jace says I feel like Louisville will play hard tonight. They're at home, so that's why I took Louisville. That's why Jace took Louisville.
All right, well, I'm going to take the Northern Kentucky team total over 70 minus 110. Possibility that Louisville could blow them out, but it could be a super high scoring anyway, and maybe, who knows, maybe Louisville wins by like 94 to 72, something like that. Covers easily, but the game is so high scoring that Northern Kentucky gets a cover on the team total over anyway. So I'm taking it. Northern Kentucky team total over 70 minus 110, Jim. How about that?
I like it.
All right, I'm on that one officially. And I did bet it. What are you liking from today's college basketball card, Jim?
I am going to take Eastern Washington. I believe in Blizniak. I believe in this team. And I think the jury's out on Utah Valley. They look terrible in that championship game. I think they're going to be, Eastern Washington is just a lot to handle. They're playing at a high level. And the reason why this line is so in Utah Valley's favor is because of that second half meltdown against Montana. I mean, Montana went on an enormous run and took over the game. So Eastern Washington has just come out so fast against Idaho State, against Montana. Because of that, I'm going to take Eastern Washington. I'm going to double up. I'm going to take them on the first half. I'm going to take them on the full game. And
I was wondering what was up with that line. When I handicapped the game, it was 7.5, and I liked Eastern Washington. Now it's 7, and some places have 6.5. So we can give you Pinnacle +7 minus 108. Okay, talk more about that.
That's for the full game.
Yes, yes.
I'm very. I think I'm basically covering myself. This team starts fast. This team wants to play. And I need to ensure that what happened in the Montana game, if that happens, that I'll still be okay.
All right. Well, the first half line will be +4 minus 113 at Pinnacle. So Eastern Washington full game and first half +4 minus 113.
I love it.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, shit.
Now, when I was capping the Utah Valley Grand Canyon game, I believed that kid, because they have brothers playing on the team, that the one kid had some medical issue. Was out indefinitely. Jake Toulins, I believe his name is. And when I looked into it today, expecting him to be gone, he actually played. He played poorly. Something happened. Something went on with this kid, Jake. Something went on. He scored 4 points in 19 minutes. And this guy averages double digits. But he's good to go tonight. Utah Valley has no injuries. But I'm a fan of this Eastern Washington team. I'm a fan of these teams that went on those long road trips to start off the year in the non-conference play. And we have another one playing tomorrow night in Texas Southern, who I like it too. And I'm going to take Texas Southern as well. I think these teams that went on these long 13-game road trips, got the shit kicked out of them, came together as a team, and are playing great basketball right now.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. I was also leaning to the over on this one and the first half over as well. What do you think about that, Jim?
I think there's going to be Buck. I think Eastern Washington likes to score.
Yeah.
But Utah Valley can slow the pace down sometimes. And look, Christian Rivas saying, I'm on my way to the Wizards game. The over better hit. I love that, Christian. Let us know. If you could come back on the show at the shoot-arounds and give us some feels, it would be nice. What is the over under?
Well, it's the full game is the first half is 69.5. I'll take that one at minus 110, and the full game's about 148 or so. It hasn't moved at all since opening.
Yeah, I think Twatty Latte's been kicking around Utah Valley, which scares me. Max is on Eastern Washington. I don't have a good record when I'm on the other side of Twatty Latte, so I hope he decides not to do that.
All right, well, I'll take the first half over there, 69.5, minus 110, Eastern Washington against Utah Valley. Let's talk about the LIU-Brooklyn-Radford game, because that line is just continues to head up, although now it's come back down. It was all the way up to 6. I bet that at 6. I was like, that's just too much. I'll bet it at 6. And now it is coming down, Jim. So I made a nice move there. There are no 6s. There are 5.5s available, but it's coming down, and I'm thinking about throwing on that as an official play, LIU Brooklyn. What do you think, Jim?
I heard a lot of people waiting for that line to do that, waiting to see how high it would go, waiting to jump on it. I wrote a ton of notes on that game. Salty Dog asking about Texas Southern thought process. I would like to lock that number and that bet in before we move on to the pro sports. So we'll get into that game for sure, Salty Dog. Let me get to that game.
All right, well, I'm going to give that one plus 5.5, minus 110. When it hit 6, I did bet it. It's still 6 at 5 dimes. We don't use 5 dimes, but I'll throw on the 5.5, minus 110. Tell me what you think about that, Jim.
Well, they beat an excellent Wagner team.
Yeah.
And when you go over that game, what happened to Wagner? That's the question. That's what I was trying to figure out today. What happened to Wagner? It was 34-18 at the break. Personally, I think Radford is a better basketball team. But how many points better? And Brooklyn feels good about themselves. We know that they have a big that they don't like using. He plays 15 or 16 minutes in Van Sowers. But Raekwon Clark is a beast, and Joel Hernandez at the 3 can score. He's the best scorer on the floor. Leads the team at 20.9 points per game. This team is hot. Both teams are hot. Both teams come in playing well. Native Queen's on Radford first half. Nice to have Native Queen back.
Oh, very nice. Is she back?
Treat.
Very, very
Thank
nice.
God.
Okay,
Thank God.
yes.
Melee Payless Ways on Radford, full game over. Vitalis comes in and says Sharps are on Radford and Wagner.
I was going to take the first half under on that one as well, and I will throw that one on there. The LIU Brooklyn Radford first half under 63 minus 110. We know what Radford likes to do. Intense defense-oriented games, slower pace, and I think they will do that here. So I'm taking the first half under on this one as well, 63 minus 110, and I'm taking LIU Brooklyn full game plus 5.5, Jim. It's a tough game. I think both those plays you could easily make a strong argument against both of them, but I'm going to take them.
Well, you got them at the right time.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yes.
I'm going to stay off this game. My lean is towards Radford. I'm going to stay off this play. I feel really good about UCLA taking care of business. I know everybody wants the little guy to succeed. I get that.
Yeah.
And that's why I think everybody's hoping for St. Bonnie's. I kind of want St. Bonnie's to win. When you cap this game down.
They're not really a little guy, though. St. Bonaventure's an Atlantic 10 team. I mean, they're not a giant, but they're not a little guy.
Compared to UCLA? They're minnows.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take that one. I'm also thinking about the first half over in the Northern Kentucky Louisville game as well. I know a lot of people are leaning Wagner. BC and Western Kentucky is a tough one. I'm going to pass on that one. BC, of course, is very guard oriented, and that could be a problem. They take a lot of threes, and this is an NIT game, right? Boston College takes a lot of threes, and this is a game where maybe the extended 3-point line will hurt Boston College here.
These guys, the way Bowman shoots threes, I think he'll welcome the added distance.
I know,
but you're right. Who knows what's going to happen? Hey, Larry, my man Max says that wants our volume raised on the mics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if we're being loud enough. What
happened?
Just a sad note from Native Queen while she's been gone.
Mm-hmm.
Been away, had a couple, good friend passed away. That's sad. Sorry to hear that, Native Queen, and we're very thankful to have you back with your family.
Yes.
Here with us.
Yes. Yeah, very sad. Condolences, Native Queen. Absolutely. All right, sure.
Twatty lattes on the Boston College under.
Uh-huh.
That would go with your idea that maybe the 3-point line will be uncomfortable.
That's a game I'm not sure about. Then the Florida Gulf Coast Oklahoma State game is a very interesting one. Florida Gulf Coast, a little bit disappointed they didn't make the tournament. I know they had designs on that this year. Normally, I'd be looking at first half overs and full game overs with Florida Gulf Coast. Oklahoma State could certainly play that kind of a game here. What do you think about taking a shot with an over in the Oklahoma State game, Jim?
It makes sense after watching these teams all year. Absolutely makes sense. But then we have to talk about whether Oklahoma State is upset, whether they're going to put in full effort. And if they don't put full effort with that'll probably mean more buckets.
Yeah.
And that's a high total, but nothing outrageous for Florida Gulf Coast.
I'm taking that one. First half over 75.5 minus 110. I bet that one, and I'm going to take it. That's a line at Bet365 and Bookmaker. Both have 75.5 minus 110. So I'm taking that one for sure. Then let's talk about Southeastern Louisiana St. Mary's. A lot of guys in the comment section, and to a certain extent, Jim and I as well, did very well with St. Mary's unders this year, didn't we, Jim?
We did.
We did. And now they're playing a team that, likes a slow pace as well, can be very defense-oriented. The total, curiously, has not gotten bet down. This one reminds me a little bit of the Toledo Eastern Michigan game that I would have expected to have gotten bet down, and it didn't. And that line, that game went way under first half and full game. I'm thinking we take a shot with the under here. Heritage has 140.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. I'm just uncomfortable with this tournament, with the rule changes. Too. I kind of want to stay off of it as much as possible. When I looked at the games, I was like, what do you like the most? What do you need to make a play on? And for me, that was Eastern Washington, my boy Blizniuk. I hear what you're saying, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
But there's just added volatility with these rule
changes.
And
with St. Mary's, you still don't know exactly how they're going to be feeling about this one. This one could be a high-scoring game. But my leans would be the under to St. Mary's. My leans would be the first half over in Northern Kentucky, Louisville, and I would also have a lean to what else? To the under in Vermont, Middle Tennessee at 137, and a lean to the under in the Wagner-Baylor game. Obviously, Wagner is a very defense-oriented team. Baylor can be slowed down. What do you think about that, Jim?
I could see Wagner making a statement. I really could see Wagner making a statement in this game. And again, we're dealing with a team, Baylor, that I was hoping to see in the tourney that could have made some noise in the tourney. And then the question is whether they want it or not.
All right, I'm going to take the under here. BetOnline has under 138 minus 105. I will take that one, under 138 minus 105. That'll be an official play for me. Baylor and Wagner under 138. Lean on the under in Middle Tennessee State. Lean on the under in St. Mary's, Southeastern Louisiana. Lean on the first half over in Northern Kentucky, Louisville. And the picks that I made officially, Northern Kentucky team total over 70. Utah Valley first half over 69.5. LIU Brooklyn plus 5.5. LIU Brooklyn first half under 63. Oklahoma State first half over 75.5, and the Baylor game under 138. Jim has made Eastern Washington first half plus 4 and full game plus 7 official picks.
Official picks, I will be sending them in after. I could have got 7.5 if I had done it a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
And it's stupid. I was getting in my head about that, thinking maybe I should just wait on that, which is stupid. Jeremy M says Utah Valley under looks good. Oh, Dom Ricci, LIU Brooklyn under 137.
Yeah.
Dom Ricci knows his. He's from Long Island. He's probably watched his Blackbird team close. Nice. Oh, Gabriel Rodriguez thinks Wagner plus 15 is the play. And great news for us Eastern Washington backers. Twatty Latte is off Utah Valley.
And Twatty Latte also likes the St. Mary's under, which is nice to hear.
Wow, Twatty's on that too?
Yes.
And you're on that?
On what?
On the St. Mary's under?
I mean, I bet it. I included it as a lean. I didn't make an official pick here.
Oh, wow. Where's it? So I didn't see that Twatty was on that play. Oh, that makes me think, if you guys are both on it, that makes me think that's the play.
It's just a lean for me. I did bet it, but it's just a lean for you. It's not an official pick yet because, you know, as you said, in the NIT, you know, expect the unexpected. I could easily see this one sneaking over or out of nowhere being a high-scoring game, so I'm not going to make it an official pick. But, wow, Flipper 13 has Northern Kentucky max bet +7. Max bet +7.
Wow.
Max bet from Flipper 13, a guy who's on the sharper side of things, Jimmy the Bag.
Absolutely, Flipper 13.
Sharper side of things,
you definitely
Jimmy
want
the
to
Bag.
be on the same side as Flipper 13.
Numbers cruncher type guys is that Flipper 13. Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at some comments, and then let's finalize our decisions here, and then we will move on. Let's see some comments that are into. King Rail likes Baylor -13. Jeremy M likes LIU Brooklyn over. Maxwell Smart says love it. King Rail. Maxwell Smart's on Baylor also.
Yeah, you want to be on the same side as these guys.
Yeah.
And knowing that both you guys are on that under 140, which was a play that makes so much sense to me. I was just concerned about the rule changes, concerned about the volatility. I think I am on the under in Southeastern Louisiana. Full game.
You want it?
Yeah.
Okay, best line will be 140 at Heritage, so we'll give you that one. Let's find it. St. Mary's under 140 -110. Okay, Jimmy the Bag has just added St. Mary's under. I mean, that would definitely be a lean for me. As I said, Hako Schofield with another great comment. I can't miss the best fucking show. Pete and Jimmy, always best research. You know what? I'm just annoyed by losing the hat. It's not that I think the hat has any special meaning. It's just I don't like being irresponsible and losing shit. You know what I'm saying?
If I fucking see that taxi driver,
no,
dude, they're gonna kick me out of the country for what I do to that guy.
I can't believe I just left it in the fucking cab. Keep your mind on everything. That's what I want to do with my life, and
just
not
a little slit right here on his throat.
All right, so what do we have here? Yeah, Peter Gazinia likes the under in St. Mary's and Southeastern Louisiana. Native Queen, here she goes. Louisville first half, Baylor first half, Boston College first half.
She likes the big boys.
Wow.
She likes the big boys.
Okay. A lot of people liking Baylor. King Rail liking Baylor. Maxwell Smart liking Baylor. Native Queen liking Baylor first half.
I love the basketball team. I just question their enthusiasm.
Let's see some other stuff here, other comments. Just checking it. A lot of people liking Florida Gulf Coast. Jake Bell likes Florida Gulf Coast. James says Florida Gulf Coast plus money, plus or plus whatever, liking it. Let's see. Louisville -7 and the over is in for Jeremy M. Okay, yes, I was leaning over as well.
Max Holt saying LIU being slept on.
Justin Searcy's Adam Lopez saying, Pete, what do you think about the full game under? And I think he's talking about the LIU Brooklyn game, and I would lean that way as well. It's just that let me put you this way: if the first half is high scoring, I'll almost certainly be on the second half under. And I did take the full game under as a bet. It's just that for my pick here, I feel a little bit more comfortable with the first half under, and things might open up a little bit. There might be shenanigans at the end. There could easily be overtime. So I'm going to just give the first half under as an official pick. But I would be leading full game under as well on that one, and I did bet it. Yes, G-Man Hags likes the Radford game under at 138. Yes, let's see. Native Queen likes Radford first half. Okay, good sign there. Radford first half, but not full game. So that means that that's very telling for me, and I think that makes me feel more comfortable with my Brooklyn play. Jay Scum says Radford's a play. I think they played a tougher schedule. They did play a tougher schedule, but when it comes to tournament games like this, just because a team didn't necessarily play the same caliber of team. I mean, if they played those teams and beat them, that would be one thing. You know what I'm saying? But just because a team played some top teams and then, got blown out by them, I don't necessarily think gives them a notable edge in these tournaments.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I'm just missing something. I think that UCLA is going to, when you control the paint, then you can control the tempo. You can slow it down and speed it up if you want. I just think UCLA is just it's just a terrible, terrible matchup for the Bonnies.
J Ballgame addressing me as totals Loshak. USC 10 straight unders and 14 of last 15. I'm all over the over. Any thoughts? J Ballgame, yes. That was a borderline play for me as well. I was going to take the first half over on that one as a pick at 72, and I'm not going to make it. It's just a little bit high, but I definitely have a lean to the over in the USC game, and like in the first half over more as well at 72. That is a borderline play, and that will be in my leans column, in my leans category, Jim, on my spreadsheet. Definitely J Ballgame. I'm liking the over a decent amount. Not necessarily thinking that it's greatest play in the world, but I'm definitely liking it a little bit. All right, what else do we have here, Jim? Let me just go to comments.
I would like to lock in tomorrow's game. I've already got Syracuse. Already got Syracuse locked, but I would like to lock in Texas Southern. I don't mind saving some of my breakdown for tomorrow if we want it for the show. Do we want it now or what?
Yeah, sure. Just. I mean, are you capable of giving like an abridged version of your breakdown?
I am.
Bullet points.
I am.
Okay.
I am. Well, obviously, I think they're just a different team with Trayvon Reed. I think DeMontre Jefferson is absolutely having this 5'7", just electric point guard, and this 7'2" beast. Will be the difference. First off, and without breaking this whole game down, because I have 2 pages of notes on this game, without fully breaking down, North Carolina Central Eagles got hot at the right time. That's about it. They were the 6th seed. I don't know how good they are. I like Rashawn Davis, their go-to guy. He sat out a year after transferring from Kent State. He looked good. He had 8 boards during the year, up to 12.3 boards, went 23 from 40 from the field. He's going to have a lot of trouble with Trayvon Reed. Trayvon Reed did not miss a field goal during the tournament. Not miss a field goal. They easily, Texas Southern easily beat top seed Arkansas Pine Bluff 84-69, the championship game. They won all 3 tournament games by double digits, and now they've been here. They've been to the tourney before, and they don't feel lucky or fortunate to be there. They look at their matchups and they think, we can do damage in this tournament. I really think that the 5 points, I'm not sure if I will get tomorrow. I think this could be a double-digit win, and I like to see what Texas Southern's going to do once they get past this.
Okay, it is a 5 or 5.5. We can give you -5, -110, which is the current line at the Greek. Again, that's a tournament game that goes tomorrow. Let's look at some more comments coming in here. Caleb Jack, Oklahoma State over. Anyone? Yes, Caleb Jack. I like the full game over, and as an official pick in this show, I gave the first half over at 75.5. Xylem, I gotta pee. Xylem, I gotta pee, says a lot of injuries for St. Bonnie's. That's a brand new commenter. XYLUM, Xylem, and his last name is I gotta pee. I wonder how long it took him to come up with that one. He was like, I really have to come up with a commenter name that really speaks to my identity, that I can really sink my teeth into and believe in and say, this is me. And he came up with Xylem, I gotta pee. XYLUM, last name, I gotta pee.
Oh, and my man, I gotta pee is on Texas Southern as well.
I gotta pee also likes Texas Southern. Very, very nice. Very, very nice.
My man Ish saying what up. Christopher Kelly coming in saying, Jimmy, Bonnie showed up for one big game this season against Rhode Island. And we had them.
Yeah.
We had St. Bonnie against Rhode Island. That was a great spot for them. And he says they haven't been used to being good this year in these high profile spots. Already on UCLA -3. Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Let's see. Other comments here. Paco Schofield says I'm all on Pete's leans. Let's see. Why Samo says I'm already seeing Pete whining tomorrow about all the leans he didn't give as picks that cash. You are damn right, Why Samo. I can see that as well. And if it happens, oh man, because every show I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try not to whine. I'm gonna try my best, but it's just whining is so natural to me. It's within I feel it within every bone of my body, every fiber of my being. So I come on here and the whining just explodes out of me. So yes, if the leans that I mentioned here all cash tomorrow, the whining will explode out of me. 12 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow.
Explode out of you?
Yeah, the whining will explode out of me because I do have a lot of leans today. Let's see. Other people liking UCLA. JD Williams says, so right, Jimmy. UCLA has my complete confidence. The Kilted Chimp says UCLA max bet today. Wow. Donald Mao says UCLA cruises. Melas Payless Way likes USC over. Isan Zolfagari says BMOC is on LIU, if it makes anyone feel better. But Jimmy is right. UCLA is the best pick of this card for college basketball. Wow.
I agree it's the best bet on the card, but I also don't feel like I need to take them on the first half in case the Bonnies get hot from outside. Over time, UCLA will control this game with their bigs. I would love to coach this game. I would love to get the ball to Welsh. I'd love an in and out with Holiday Welsh. Just put them to sleep. In and out. Fuck, man. And then maybe in a major explosion.
All right. Okay. So let's see. And then here we go. Even though I'm a little bit off kilter because I lost my hat and I'm all like not fully present. Rio Duarte says, "I love this show. We're still doing a good show, Jim. Even when we're that's the mark of a real professional, right? It's a grind like the NBA season. Well, we grind it out day in and day out, giving a top quality product every day.
Not using your lost hat as an excuse. Respect.
Yes.
Now, Native Queen says, Pete, could you go over all your leans?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know. Sure, I'll go over the whole card, and whenever we review the whole card, I mention what my leans are. So let's see. Shall we go over any other picks you want to give, Jim?
No, I like where I stand. I got Eastern Washington twice. First half, full game. I added the under in St. Mary's. Comfortable with that. There was a lean that I had that you guys were on and gave me confidence to take it. I like it. I like where I stand tonight. But UCLA, I think, is my play of the day. I really, really feel confident in that spot.
Okay, so again, the LIU Brooklyn Radford game. I gave LIU Brooklyn plus 5.5 as a pick. The first half under as a pick, and the full game under is definitely a lean. Wagner Baylor, I gave the full game under 138. As a pick on that one. A lot of people in chat liking Baylor. That's certainly interesting. Northern Kentucky, Louisville. Northern Kentucky team total over 70 is an official pick. And the first half over in that game is a definite lean for me as well. Boston College, Western Kentucky, tough game. That's a pass for me. Vermont, Middle Tennessee State, leaning on the under. That is definitely an official lean. Florida Gulf Coast, Oklahoma State, the first half over 75.5. That's definitely an official pick. And I gave that one as an official pick, and I bet it. Hampton, Notre Dame, we didn't get to. I guess we can talk about that in a second. Eastern Washington game, of course, Jimmy likes Eastern Washington first half plus 4 and the full game plus 7. And I took the first half over on that one at 69.5. UCLA St. Bonaventure. Jim loves UCLA. He gave it a few days ago. He had to take it at 3.5, and it's now down to 3. But a lot of people in chat agreeing with Jim.
I feel like I should do Juan Ma's
what happened?
wave.
What happened?
I feel like I should do Juan Ma's wave. Native Queen comes in
wave.
and says, with you, Jim, on UCLA.
Uh-oh. There you go.
Also taking them first half.
Oh, shit.
Also taking them first half. And Native Queen, that's all I had to hear. That is all I had to hear. I'm on them doubling up.
Yeah.
I'm fucking doubling up on UCLA. I want them first half, and I'll add it in.
Man, all right. Maybe I should throw that one on there because not just Native Queen. A lot of other guys that we really respect have also agreeing with you and with solid reasoning as well. So we'll give you the first half in 1 second. Ryder, Oregon. Haven't looked too deep into that one. That's going to be a pass for me. St. Mary's game, under 140 is a lean for me, and Jim added that one on as an official pick. And UNC Asheville, first half is over is definitely a lead for me, and probably the full game over is also a lean as well, although I think I like the first half over a little bit more in that one, or actually considerably more. So the first half over 72 is definitely a lean for me, UNC Asheville and USC. And Jim wants to add on UCLA first half, and we can give you -1.5, -105. That is the current line at Bookmaker. That's the best line on the first half, -1.5, -105. You want that, Jim?
Sorry.
Okay.
What? -1.5?
-1.5, -105.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. You know what I'm saying, Jim? It's like if I put the hat in the laundry and it got all fucked up in the laundry and it got destroyed, it'd be fine. Hats get destroyed, but it's just I hate the irresponsibility of just losing something.
If I see a smirk, on that motherfucker's face, I'm going to lose my shit.
All right. That's it for college basketball. Shall we move on, Jim?
Let's do it.
Let's move on. Let's see what else we have. Okay, let's move on to NHL is what we're going to go to right now. All right, what were the picks that we gave in NHL? Let me just find the NHL. Pull up the NHL segment here. Pull up the NHL sheet. Hold on 1 second. Sorry.
No
and I got dry mouth, and I'm a little bit just out of sorts is what I'm trying to say here. All right, so Boston, Carolina. You took Carolina, didn't you, Jim?
I did. I was a little uncomfortable when I heard that Marchand was in practice, but I think this is a bounce back spot for the Hurricanes, and I like this play a lot without Marchand. I'm not going to beat around the bush, but just because he was in practice, questionable. I think not having Bergeron, not having McAvoy, they've been on a winning streak, but they've been allowing a ton of goals. I'm not going to get scared here. I'm going to stay on the Hurricanes. Oh, see there. Oh, no, is Quick in goal for tonight? No, I don't think Quick is in goal. Damn, I thought you were saying that Quick is in goal. I've been waiting to get the nod that Quick's coming back. Sorry. I'm comfortable. I shouldn't say comfortable. I think this is a bounce-back spot for the Hurricanes. I've taken it. I've sent it in. I would much rather Marchand not be in the lineup.
Okay, you got plus 120. That is that beat a 5-cent line move. It's now about plus 115 market wide. Nice job there. Then let's see. The Ottawa game is interesting. Jim, you have no play on the Ottawa game. I took the first period money line for Ottawa at plus 221, and I was looking at the Ottawa -1 line. To just get Ottawa -1 will be plus 550.
Jesus.
What do you think about that, Jim?
Holy shit!
Plus 550.
Wow.
That's that is kind of tempting there, isn't it, Jim?
It's very tempting. I think that Ottawa can do damage here, and that's why I'm staying off of it.
You're going to stay off it.
It's
okay.
The second they looked poor in back-to-backs this year, and I'm just going to stay off this game. I do think that the value is on the Senators.
Yeah. And here you go. G-Man Hag says, forget about that fucking hat. Okay, we're forgetting about it. We're forgetting about it. Jesus Christ. Okay. God. G-Man Hags. That comment is up here. Forget about the fucking hat. Damn. All right. Okay. No more hat talk. No more hat talk. But that is tempting to take a shot with Ottawa, right? A massive underdog line. And I did take Ottawa plus 221 on the first period line. Dallas-Montreal. Jim has a strong opinion on that game. Jim took Dallas and the under. He took Dallas puck line plus 165 and under 5.5 at plus 113, and that line I believe has moved in Dallas's favor. No, not that much actually. It's just plus 162 on the puck line at Pinnacle, and then the total he took it at 5.5, and that line has not moved at all. Right where you took it in the morning. How are you feeling about those two picks, Jim? Zero line movement since you took those in the morning.
I was asked what my favorite play of this whole card is, and when I looked at it. It took me a little bit of time, but yes, I think the Stars -1.5 is my favorite play on the card. Oh my God, UCLA just went down to 2.5, -2.5. Jesus, that's wild. I tell you what though, if Johnny Quick goes back to back, if he says I'm going to play again, we need this to get into the playoffs. I'm going to take the Phoenix team total under, and I'm going to take the Kings -1.5. I'm going to jump all over it.
Dave Huang says, bet my whole bankroll on UCLA. If I win, I can afford a Happy Meal. Oh, okay, very nice. Whole bankroll on UCLA there. Okay, Jim is on Dallas -1.5 and the under. Winnipeg, Nashville, that's an interesting game. No overnight line. They have, of course, played 3 games this year. Very, very high scoring. We'll see what the 4th game turns out to be. Minnesota, Colorado. Jim and I both took Minnesota. I thought that was a great play. Jim likes it enough to give it, but doesn't necessarily think it's the greatest play on the card. I took him at -1, and Jim took him on the puck line. Edmonton and Calgary. Jim took a shot with Edmonton as a big underdog at plus 155, and I took the over on that one, 5.5 -120. And I'm thinking about throwing on like the Edmonton first period line and the team total over 2.5 for Edmonton as well. The big question is how will Mike Smith do? And then LA, Arizona. I have no play on that one, no overnight line, so I am passing on that one. And that's it for the NHL card. Anything you want to add, take away? Anything you want to think about out loud, Jimmy the Bag?
Well, my man Big Dick Donnie saying, Jimmy, I'm seeing Quick. I see Quick too, just not confirmed. And it's not that Campbell can't do it. It's just if Johnny Quick says I'm playing in back-to-backs and looks everybody knows. That's a veteran team. Everybody just knows. And I'm going to just jump all over the LA Kings if they decide to do that. A Native Queen says, also, thanks, Jim. Hit a parlay last night with the Sharks and Kings. Very smart of you, Native Queen, not to add the Ducks in there. You know,
yeah, Quick is unconfirmed right now for the LA Kings. Okay, let's see. Moving on down. Yeah, the big question is Mike Smith. How do you think he's going to do? Because I might throw on the Calgary team total over, and I might throw on the Edmonton team total over, and the Edmonton first period line as well. What do you expect from Smith, Jim?
Well, I do expect him to play better. I do. He's a veteran goalie. Those guys need a game under their belt. I expect him to step up, and he was great this year. I remember I made in one of our early season videos, I was like, man, Smith is done. 35 years old. I think he'll not succeed that much. And a woman replied with all these stats on 35-year-old goalies hitting their peak.
Yes. But that's not necessarily every goalie. That's just a general trend. She was just saying that age isn't as important for goalies as it is in other positions.
Yes, and when we started talking about throughout the year, I said, yes, I agree with that, but one thing they can't do is bounce back from injuries very well. And because of that, I do not expect Smith to shut the door. I expect him to need a few games to come back, to struggle out of the gate. That's why I really like the Oilers in this spot, getting the big money.
Yeah. All right, I will.
What's the over that you got it at?
Well, I got it at 5.5 minus 120. That was the line at Heritage, and I absolutely bet that one at that line.
I think that's a great play. I'm going to take it.
You really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see if you can get that one, Jim, because you might not be able to. Oh, yes, you can. Still 5.5 minus 120 at Heritage. All right, there we go. So Jim's going to take the Calgary game over 5.5 minus 120. That's the line I took, and I'm also going to throw on the Edmonton team total over, which is 2.5. Let me find the best line for that. And I might throw on the Edmonton first period line as well, and I think I will do that. I'm going to throw on Edmonton first period line and the Edmonton team total over 2.5, and Jim is throwing on the over is funny shit, as I say, and Jim's going to throw on the over 5.5 minus 120. What's so goddamn funny, Jim? That's fucking funny.
Twatty's had a few. He says that Pete invented fire.
Okay. Twatty just going way, taking it to another level, huh?
He said that you look like you live in the upside down.
All right, Twatty off that LSD, baby.
He says that your second cousin was Harambe.
Oh shit, Twatty off that ayahuasca on March 13th today. Nice job, Twate Latte. All right, so I'm going to take the team total over for Edmonton, 2.5. I'm going to take Edmonton on the first period, which I believe will be a plus 130, and Jim is adding on the full game over in the Edmonton game as well, right, Jim?
I am, and Dave Wang says a very, very shrewd point. Says I think nobody in the NHL can beat UCLA. Very lucid, shrewd stuff. What
about Edmonton on the reverse puck line at plus 280?
We talked about it in the morning show, and I agree. Sitting here gives me a huge edge in capping. And the one thing that I think I will do next year, and I don't think I'll start it now because I'll really beat myself up. The losses just really hurt me. But next year, I think I'll start doing that. Okay. This year, I like taking dogs, but I went over some of the plays, and they almost always win by more than a goal.
The one thing is to be aware of, to keep in mind, is that you do pay for the privilege of taking an alternative puck line. The hold percentage that the books have on those alternative puck lines and alternative spreads and stuff like that are way higher than the standard spreads and totals, Jim. So just keep that in mind. When you're taking standard money lines in NHL, the juice that you're paying is relatively low compared to even taking a puck line, and definitely compared to taking an alternative puck line. You know what I'm saying? So you do pay for that privilege.
Yeah, no, yes. I hear you. I hear you. I think that I will start doing that next year. Huge. Have we moved? Is it okay to talk NBA?
Yes, let's now officially move on to NBA. What do you want to talk about first, Jim?
Huge news. Also, Twatty says Pete is my idol. And he means that.
Oh, I know he does mean it. That's so sweet. All right, on to NBA.
Bill Butler, huge news that makes my Clippers play look even better. Bill Butler coming in saying Markkanen ruled out. God, that makes me feel good.
And that means that the over, I took the first half over in that game at 114.5. How do you feel about that for the over? It still could go over. I mean, they still might just run up and down the court and play no defense, right, Jim?
Yeah, but I'd prefer to have Markkanen on the floor.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wow. J.D. Williams says, when UCLA hits tonight, I'll send Pete the Yanks hat of my choice.
Oh, shit. All right. Thank you for, I mean, it's always nice to shake things up in your life. And sometimes it's great to, when you lose something, you look back on it and later on realize that it was for the best. It was all for the best, right, Jim?
Yeah, and one last quick thing, a very interesting thing that my man Clint Anna Marak says, hey, Jim, and last thing about hockey, and then we'll definitely move on. He says, Jim, Stars, Preds, Parlay. I found it very noticeable that both Pete and I were off of that Jets-Predators game.
Yeah. I was off it because there was no overnight line, so I didn't have a chance to dig into it deeply.
I dug into it deeply. And if you go in capping this game thinking that having Michael Hutchinson in goal is any kind of drawback or it hurts the Jets at all. I don't think it does. He's an excellent goaltender. This Jets team has just got enormous goaltending depth. He's had just a great year in the AHL. He's looked great in his 2 starts in the NHL. I don't know why they got Steve Mason, because I would have Hellebuck and Hutchinson is who I would have moved forward with if I was in the management team of the Jets. I think the Jets would need to make a statement after losing 6-5. I think the Predators are the best team in the West, but I'm uncomfortable with making a player. I wouldn't be able to say yes, take the Predators here. These are 2 teams that really want to send a message to each other. I'm not entirely sure what goes down.
Unreal. Mr. Gogster 99 says, Pete reminds me of the local janitor. Then his next comment is, I don't know why. All right. he just has that look. Can't really put my finger on it.
No, man.
All right.
Local janitors aren't geniuses.
Exactly. All right. So, by the way, Edmonton team total over is 2.5 minus 105. That's the official line I'm getting there. And the first period money line is plus 129. That is the best line that I'm getting there. In the morning it was 130. Now I'm going to take plus 129 at Pinnacle. All right. So in the NBA, let me just pull up the NBA sheet here, and I'll review what our official picks were. Let me just find this shit. Where the hell is everything? Let me find it. All right.
Oh, wow. G-Man Hag's going to send you an Xavier hat from the real Xavier in Nova Scotia.
Oh, shit.
Men's hockey team going to win the national champs this weekend. Ooh, G-Man Hags.
Shit.
That's fucking dope, man.
That is awesome.
That'd be cool.
Definitely. All right. Let me just find the NBA sheet, and then I will review what we gave in the NBA this morning. I took the over 114.5 in the Clippers-Bulls game. What's your general sense on that, Jim? Is that a decent play? I mean, obviously both the Clippers and the Bulls have been scoring mostly in the stratosphere over the last 10 games or so.
I'll tell you my concern. My concern is the Clippers beat up. I was saying how important this game is.
Yeah.
It's crucial. Absolutely crucial. So my concern is that the Clippers take that big lead and just kind of destroy the Bulls. That's my only concern. I still think the play is fine.
Yeah. And then the other play that everyone was talking about in the morning is New Orleans. Everyone seeming to believe this is a big bounce back spot for New Orleans. I took them on the first half -2 and the first half team total over 60 for New Orleans. Jim took New Orleans team total over 117.5 for the full game and -4.5 on the full game. And the only play that's in my leans category today, what is the under in the Detroit-Utah game? Jim made that one an official pick at 198, and that line has since gotten bet significantly down. Last I saw was 196.
I had to get 196 when I got it.
Yeah, now it's wow. Yeah, now it's 196 or 195.5. So I liked it at 198. Probably I should give it as a pick here anyway at 196. Jim was smart enough to jump on it as an official pick at 198 in the morning show. And you still liking that one, Jim?
Yes, I really do. Now, I don't like it as much as I like the last under with the Jazz. I just think this Pistons team is trash. Did we get any last minute information on whether Johnson and Bullock are in the lineup? Let me see if I can get that right now. If they're both out, I mean, that's going to hurt. Without question, that's going to hurt. Let me see if I can get that information right now.
Twate Latte asking about can I cap MMA so that he can go to sleep? Twate, I have not had a chance to look at that yet. It's going to be, he says, Uncle Pete, can you cap MMA so I can go night-night? And once again, he's going to come in with another comment right now saying, I wasn't being serious, Pete. All right, yeah, right. But we will cover MMA this week. Last week there was no UFC main event, so we skipped it last week.
Night is a really nice touch.
Yes, it is a really nice night. Uncle Pete, can you cap MMA so I can go night-night? He was just kidding. I thought he was seriously asking me to talk about MMA. Wow. All right. I get so excited about this shit. Whenever someone asks me to handicap anything, I'm always like, yes, I will. Yes, I will. And so they can always get me with a little bit of sarcasm. I'm easily trollable when it comes to handicapping
so
requests.
I can go night-night.
Yes. All right. So Jimmy the Bag also took, like in Orlando tonight, took him first quarter +3 and full game +9.5. And I did see that line, strangely, got bet up, which is
not strange at all. Aaron Gordon was announced out, and then Aldridge was confirmed that he was going to be in the lineup, and I got afraid. And so before I sent my action in, I went on to the group and I was like, gee, because I know Dexter Rojas is on Orlando, and I was like, Dex, I'm not sending it in.
Okay.
I don't feel good, and Dex gave me all the reasons why I should still believe in that play.
Sure. I mean, Orlando's just been a team that has been money on the first quarter this year, game in and game out, seemingly no matter who they're against and no matter what the line is. If you want to pull your bet for the purpose of our record keeping in this show, it's gone up, but You Wager still has 10, so you could give that one.
I totally forgot. So after breaking that down with Dexter, I decided to do one of two things. One, I did not send in the first quarter. I only took them plus 10.5 full game, but I did add a play, and thank God I might have forgot to add it. I am taking the over in the Cleveland Cavaliers Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
Now I know there was some chat this morning to not like, Donald Trump. Donald Trump's back.
Yes,
Donald
very nice,
Trump, we've
very
missed you. He
nice.
says Orlando plus 10 is an autoplay here. Nice to hear that, Donald. Cavaliers, Suns over. There was talk not liking it in the early show. I capped it further. All those guys are playing tonight that missed the last game. Booker, Warren, and Jackson. There's talk that, the Cavs are going to try to start playing tighter defense. You know what? I'll believe it when I see it. And until then, I'm going to hammer some of these overs, and especially when the Suns will play, especially with Booker. Ooh. Well, I guess Goose has a play, but I guess he keeps using Millennium after.
I don't know. The last one casts his credibility took a hit after the last one. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, first let me quote you the line. 230 minus 110 is the current best line for Cleveland and Phoenix. Over 230 minus 110. All right, let's see the latest bullshit Goose has hit us with. Let's see this shit. Where is that? Where is that bullshit?
Oh, no.
Where's the bullshit? No, I'm just kidding. Right? Under two. But he's not. No, he's not as effusive, as enthusiastic. He's not. There's not stars, and you can see this now that the live chat is being saved. You can see it. He just wrote Millennium. Magic under 201.5 Millennium, but nothing. No like emojis and all that shit and stars and exclamation points. Just Millennium. All right. So Goose has a third play of the Millennium. He's 1-1 on his plays of the Millennium so far in chat. This is the rubber pick here. Magic under 201.5. What do you think about that, Jim?
Well, it concerns me unless it's a low-scoring game.
We'll credit him with 202. I'm seeing that at the Greek, so we'll make that official at 202.
Oh no, JK says worst credibility of the Millennium. No, I like Goose. I like Goose. You don't want to use the Millennium line on every one of your plays because then the Millennium line loses power.
Yeah,
but
it certainly does.
Twatty giving you some real love.
Very nice,
and this
nice.
is not about being put to sleep. Says Pete is an absolute OG genius, founding father of this industry and a numbers god. And then he says you tease the ones you love.
Yes. Is he trolling me? No, I'm going to assume that's sincere, and I'm putting that on my wall. Thank you so much, Twate Latte. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the comments. Goose has suddenly changed his pick on the Millennium pick. He now likes the over. He now likes the over in the Magic game. All right, what the fuck is going on here, Goose?
Goose, all right.
What the fuck is going on here, Goose? Goose suddenly says over. Oops, Magic over 201.5. Okay, all right. So Goose likes the over in the Magic game, and we will now credit him with over 201.5 as the third Millennium pick
One
from
fucked
Goose.
up Millennium. Man.
Yeah, he certainly is. He certainly is. And Jake Block says maybe a Millennium is a day in geese years. Nice, nice,
not bad.
nice. Professional level comedy right there from Jake
Dan
Block.
Kelly says the Millennium is only 17 years old.
That's possibly that wouldn't that be funny if we're sitting here and we're like taking people's opinion seriously, and then it turned out that in real life when he's just like 12 and a half.
He's a boy.
Like sitting at his computer just half trolling us, half out of his mind with stupidity, like some 12-and-a-half-year-old just putting in plays,
Playing
and
with
we're taking it
dinosaurs.
super seriously. All right, Goose says my bad, Pete. Over. Look, I make those mistakes too. I say the wrong team. I say over when I mean under. I say total. I say that all the time.
You lose
That's
your hat in a
understandable.
taxi cab.
Yes, absolutely. So I understand that. We're just joshing with you. We're just joshing with you, Goose. We respect your pick, and we don't think that you're
And he's a millennial.
Yes, I mean, look, even Native Queen has been known to accidentally type under when she meant over and stuff like that. So it happens to the best of them, Goose.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of them. All right, Goose officially liking the over in the Spurs Orlando game, right, Jim?
I hope so.
Yes.
I hope so.
Yes.
The over. I'm very interested to see how the Spurs come out after all the talk about it being over, their run being over, and I don't hate on Kawhi Leonard. I know a lot of people are hating on him. It does definitely remind me of Derrick Rose being healthy enough to play but not wanting to play, and that was the beginning of the breakdown of that Bulls team. I'm very curious to see how it's going to go, and I'm happy that Dex convinced me to stay on the Magic double-digit spot.
Here you go. Ergo Caustic says Cavs Suns over 250. Like in just the game to soar over, Jim.
Well, Max has been teasing those lines for huge payouts.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that. Once again, when you do that, you pay for the privilege of doing that. The books charge you for it. Absolutely, your expected hold percentage is going to be higher. The books hold percentage is higher when you buy and sell runs. But if you're handicapping volatility and your volatility is worth more than the price that the books are charging you, absolutely, it can be the right thing to do for sure. What the hell?
He says that squirrels stored their nuts in Pete's Yankees hat.
Very, very nice. And here we go. May last way. Philly, first half and full game. That's an interesting game. I did break that game down, and I'm scared of it, Jim. What do you think? Indiana and Philly.
I do find it a very interesting game. Let's go on to it. But I did want to mention that Native Queen did say that I can't find it right now, but it locked in that the first half. Cavs first half over is a moneymaker. I can't. Oh, there. Native Queen says the Cavs first half. Oh, just the Cavs first half. Excuse me.
Okay.
Cavs first half are over machine. Fuck. I keep fucking this up.
All right.
Okay. Yes, let's go to that Pacers game before I fucking lose my mind here.
Indiana, Philly, both teams been playing very well recently. Indiana, kind of similar to the Miami game yesterday. Both Miami and Portland were playing well, and you were thinking, why is Miami getting this many points here? They're a good team too, but of course they wound up getting blown out. Maybe a similar situation here. Indiana been playing well. They're a good team. Why should they be getting so many points? Maybe there's a reason. Maybe Philly is a great play tonight.
Yeah, it scared me as well. Pacers coming off beating that severely depleted Celtics team. They've now won 5 of 6. They're playing great defense. They've held each opponent that's lost to them under 100 points. They are completely healthy. And that's a big thing at this time of year, being completely healthy. 16-16 on the road. Sixers, though, demolished Brooklyn in Brooklyn. Not that that's that hard, but 8 Sixers in double figures. That's a sign of a team really coming together. Their defense looked very strong. They held Brooklyn to 37 points in the second half, just 14 in the fourth quarter. If this Sixers team starts playing lockdown defense, then they're going to be extremely dangerous moving forward. And then they played 2 completely different games when they played each other. The first one was very high scoring, 121-110. Second one was very low scoring, 192. Sixers 20-10 at home, 6-4 over the last 10. I'm happy to be staying away from it. Moshi Bogarad says, what's your favorite first quarter bet?
Moshi Bogarat. Wow, that's a cool name there.
That's a very cool name. That's interesting. I'd be very curious to hear what I know that I don't think you've made the first quarter bet, what your lean would be on your favorite first quarter play. Looking down here. Yes. My favorite first quarter play, I'd be curious to see what the line is. And, I might even take it. Thank you, Mo. I might even do this. But I think the Clippers are going to come out hard. They know that they got to play well. They know that back-to-back against the Rockets Thunder is going to be extremely difficult.
And Twain Seymour comes in with a comment, no Schroeder or Bazemore, Hawks get smashed. What do you think?
I agree that they're vulnerable right now, but can you trust this Thunder team on the road? I mean, I can't, and I'm not going to.
They're only giving 6, Jim.
It doesn't matter.
No?
I agree. I think they're probably going to get smashed, but it's been a losing proposition to take this team. It's just they never seal the deal. And another thing they do is I would take them on the first half.
Right, which would be, I guess, 3.
I would take them on the first half because we've seen them come out dominant and then let teams back in it time and time and time again.
Or the first quarter. The first quarter would be minus 2. Not even okay. So you couldn't even get 1.5. -2 would be the first quarter on OKC. Market might be telling you something there, Jim.
Yeah, they're saying don't trust.
Yeah. And the full game in the first half is -3 for OKC. That's tempting.
That's very tempting. I would take the first half over the first quarter because they're not hanging the 1.5.
-3 on the first half. OKC, should I throw that one on there, Jim?
Well, they're also Steven Adams is going to be out. You want him out of the lineup right now. The way he played in those 22 minutes last game with the hurt ankle, I mean, he's useless if he's going to play like that.
Yeah.
I think that is the play. Is the Thunder on the first half. That just gives me a little more comfort than the first quarter. I think that is the play with Schroeder and Bazemore out. I mean, Taurean Prince, did you see the 38 points he just put up?
Yeah.
As the only scoring option. I like this team. I was very successful. This is part of the reason why I have a successful record was this Hawks team getting not enough value. Looking at I can't believe the Thunder are 11 games over 500. They've just been trash.
A lot of comments on this one. King Rail says it got it at 1.5. OKC first quarter is money. Waisamo says don't take OKC. And Twain Seymour says OKC plays down to their competition. Bart Nelson says OKC horrible covering spreads. Full game, yes, definitely, but sometimes they can have value early. And Tomori says OKC has been garbage defensively with Adams out. I'd lean over and stay away from the side.
Yeah, and Isamo saying OKC
never
is
the play.
Never the play.
Wow. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, yes. I don't trust them, but if I could see going on the first half. Bill Butler saying Prince is going to get shut down by PG-13. Usamo saying better bet Westbrook to have a triple-double than OKC to cover.
Yeah. All right, Jim. Anything else you want to add from the big NBA card tonight?
Well, are you going to add that OKC first half?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
no, I'm not. I'm going to hold off. But I hope and pray that King Rail cashes his first quarter play on -1.5. I'm not touching the game, Jim.
Yeah, I agree. I'll be cheering for King Rail as well. I love that guy.
All right, so anything else? So let's just look at some of these notable line moves. The Detroit-Utah game, again, down to 196 or 195.5. The Orlando-San Antonio game, down from 204.5 down to 201.5. And Goose likes the over for his third play of the millennium in the chat box here. The Clippers-Chicago game, despite what's his name being out, has now gone up to 225.5 or 226, and that is yes, that is a good sign. That was the game where
Dennis Schroeder is playing.
Yeah. Oh, Dennis Schroeder is playing.
Coming in saying Dennis Schroeder is playing. Thank you, God. I would just hate myself if I'd already made that an official pick. Thank you, Karthik.
Clippers and Chicago game. What did I say in the morning show? It had opened at 224.5. You were saying you were leaning over. It had taken a slight drop down to 223.5. And you asked me how do I feel about that? What did I say? I said, well, it's not great if you're liking the over. I said, but if we come back and it's up to 226.5 and the 6 o'clock show, that'll be a good sign. What do we have here? 226, Jim.
Yeah, absolutely.
226.5 at bet 365. There you go. Just like I said it. And you know what? I'll just in honor of that, I will take the over on the full game. I took the first half over. I'll take the full game over as well. 225.5 -110 at the Greek and bookmaker. What do you think about that, Jim?
I'd like the play. I'm not going to take it. I like the play. My only concern is the Bulls just getting trash,
steamrolled, and then you get a fourth quarter where you have 38 points out of
That's my only concern. I think that will be. I'd like your first half play. I think you'll be on pace for it.
Yes,
that's my only concern.
I like the first half over for sure, and I bet that one at 114.5, and that is now up to 116 or 115.5 at UWager. Very, very nice there. All right, let's see some other line moves on totals. Dallas, New York. That total exploded. Right, opened at 212.5. It's now up to 216 or 216.5, Jim.
Wow.
Huge move to the over in New York, Dallas. That makes me think that it might still be a good play even at 216. And the Minnesota-Washington game, small move to the over on that one. Now up to 217.5 or 218, up from 216, Jim.
Wow. We have some stuff coming in I would like to mention. First off, predictions guy says Millennium Falcon pick. Orlando +4 first quarter. Oh, shit. I got him at +3.5, but I was afraid to send it in. Which I might hate myself for, but I was afraid to send that in. And then my man Mohamed Joma has been trying to get this across, and I know it's not in NBA right now, but he's been trying to get this across for a while. He really likes Habs money line tonight, and we know that our boy Nostra Tot is going to be at that game, and we are both on the Wild, so we'll see. Mohamed. Good luck, man. Very, very nice. Yeah. Wow. Is that first quarter up to 4? It was up to 4. I could have got it at +4.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I could have got it at +4 4 hours ago.
There it is. UWager, bet 365, 5 dimes, all have +4. Wow.
Yeah. I could have got that. That was because I got a +3.5, and it took me a little while to go over some things before I sent my stuff in. And when I did, it was +4 was hanging.
Damn. All right. So I guess should we wrap it up, Jim? Well, the 7 o'clock games are already off for NBA. Anything else you want to add on here in NBA, Jim?
No. Have I added anything on NBA?
Nope. Oh yeah, you added Cleveland Phoenix over 230.
I've already sent that in. Okay, no, I'm in a nice spot. I'm very thankful that I didn't. And now knowing that Schroeder is in, very thankful that I didn't jump on the Thunder. I think your first half play is really sharp. Clippers at Bulls. And when does that game start?
That game starts at 8 o'clock Eastern time.
I think that's a great play.
Yes.
And I'm going to take it.
Really?
Yeah.
The first half over?
First half over.
All right, let's find it. We're not going to be able to give you the line that I got, which is 114.5. We can't give you 115.5, which is at UWager right now. Jim will take Clippers, Chicago over 115.5 minus 110 on the first half.
Okay.
Okay. 1H over 115.5 minus 110. Hopefully we both cash on that one, Jim. Big NBA card. I'm passing on a lot of these games, but certainly very interesting. I would certainly have some leans to probably a lean to the Dallas, New York over, even though it has moved up so much. I feel like that's probably a sharp move. That sounds like smells to me like maybe some of those syndicates in Vegas pounded that one a few times and drove that line up all those points. Brooklyn, Toronto is an interesting game for sure. Something tells me this will be a lower scoring game. I would have a lean to the under, but I'm not going to touch it. And the New Orleans game, hope we're right about New Orleans rolling tonight, picking up the pace and cashing. Jim and I are both on team total overs, and I'm on New Orleans first half. Jim's on New Orleans on the full game, minus 4.5. Orlando, San Antonio, we'll see how that one turns out. Goose likes the over. Jim likes Orlando, even though it's he's sticking with his plays, even though Gordon is out for Orlando. And Jim also jumped on Utah, Detroit under 198. It's now down to 196 or 195.5. I feel like I should probably throw that one on there myself, but I'll hold off for now. I'm just a little bit worried that Utah really smashes Detroit and scores 120. You know what I'm saying,
They
Jim?
just won't. With Rubio, he just won't do that. He won't push the pace. I've watched this guy play for a long time. He controls the pace, and when they're ahead, he slows it down. He just doesn't overexert his team. A couple things, though, that are interesting. Isan Sofagari really wants to know if either of us have a side on the Lakers-Nuggets game, and Al Hard wants to know our best plays, what he thinks our best plays in the NBA are. So first off, do you have any? I'm staying off that Lakers-Denver game.
Looking at the second half for sure, but I'm staying off it.
And then the best play in the NBA, I think the Pelicans are in a bounce back spot. I would say that's the play that I'm most confident in. Although I like the Clippers. I think the Clippers are good, but I really think Hornets are trash on the road. They've given up on the season, and Pelicans need to bounce back.
You know what? The Utah game was in my lean category at 198. Now that it's down to 196, I'll convert it to a play. I'll convert it to official pick. I did bet it at 198. It was just a lean when I went in the morning show, but now I'll throw it on under 196 minus 110. I'm going on that with Jim as well. Jim got 198. I'm gonna have to take 196. Hopefully it won't matter, and we'll both cash. All right, Jim. Nice show. Should we wrap it up?
We should wrap it up.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern time. Thanks once again, everyone.